Okay, thanks, Chris. So let's talk about what is click-through rate in Google Ads. So, Chris, I'm just going to ask you the question.
Okay.
What is, you're at CrossFit, you're at a dinner party, you're at a cocktail hour, and someone just walks up to you and you just got the look of a Google Ads manager all over you. You just smell like one. And they're like,
Right.
hey, what is click-through rate in Google Ads? How do you answer
Okay.
that question?
Okay. First of all, I say, how much did Jason pay you to ask me that and make me feel validated about my career? But the next thing I say is, I mean, for me, just before we get into the basics of what it means beyond just the definition, it is just how many people saw something and how many people took action on it. It's just a percentage number. So higher means more interactivity. Less numbers mean a lot less interactivity between the scene of an ad visually on the screen, the ad being loaded, and then the ad literally being clicked or interacted on in some way. CTR, click through rate. And quick note, a lot of people write click through rate as 3 words. Jason, I know you would never do that. Click through rate is actually just 2 words. Click through is 1 word, and then rate is a separate word.
No
2
hyphens.
words. No hyphens, no spaces. Click through rate.
Okay, good. So, official Google Ads definition, and like you're saying, yes, Chris, it is. How many times? I'll walk it back from did people see your ad to just impressions. How many times did it show
Okay.
up?
Sure.
Uh, versus how many times it got clicked on. How many times it got clicked on is the numerator. The denominator is your impressions. If you had 5 people clicked on your ad, or you got 5 clicks over 100 impressions, you have a 5% click-through rate. Officially from Google, a ratio showing how, and we'll have a link in the description, a ratio showing how often people who see your ad or free product listings end up clicking it. Click-through rate can be used to gauge how well your keywords and ads and free listings are performing. And then they go on to speak about it's the number of clicks divided by the number of impressions. Each of your ads, listings, keywords, and I would also add on ad groups and campaigns have their own click-through rates that you can see in your account. You can also see them pretty much all the time, whether you look at audiences or devices and demographics, stuff like that. But Chris, just to preview things here, in their official definition, they say a high click-through rate is a good indication that users find your ads and listings helpful and relevant. Click-through rate also contributes to your keywords expected click-through rate, which is a component of ad rank. Note
Here
that
we
a
go.
good, which
Yeah.
we'll get into, but
Getting
the
complicated.
language is very interesting. I just want to preview the language. It's a good indication that users find your ads helpful and relevant. It contributes to your expected click-through rate, and then a good CTR is relative to what you're advertising and on which network. So it's definitely industry tied to the industry and the network. And then you can use your click-through rate to gauge which ads, listings, and keywords are successful. And so it is a way to kind of monitor your performance, which we'll be getting into. But Chris, I think that's without getting into, is it good? Is it bad? Does it need to be higher, lower? How to get it higher? Without getting into all of that yet, I think that's a pretty good general definition of click-through rate.